Voters are fed up with climate deniers and folks that let big polluters off the hook.
Voting is our voice and our power, and we need to be able to use it.
It's essential that everyone come out and vote in this election because these environmental issues affect us directly.
Our goal is to mobilize sporadic voters. People don't usually vote in the midterm elections, they only vote in presidential elections.
At the end of the day, the health of the planet is what's at stake. That's why in 2014, we're making by far the biggest investment we've ever made in elections. So this election cycle, we've raised nearly $6 million on behalf of federal and state candidates, by far the most we ever raised and contributed. Elections are a key component of League of Conservation Voters' overall goals because we need more environmental champions.
This is a race about the future of New Hampshire. We need to invest in energy efficiency.
Senator Shaheen is a true climate change champion. Scott Brown is answering to the oil industry, not the voters. We've brought hundreds of volunteers, making phone calls and really getting the vote out.
Feeling really energized, actually. I've talked to about 60 people so far today. Hopefully I'm gonna hit about 60 to 70 more. And a lot of people are fired up.
With your help, we are going to be successful on Election Day.
We also need to get rid of elected officials who are bad on the environment. That's why we have a Dirty Dozen program, to defeat some of the worst environmental opponents and elect environmental champions. We've also now, working with our state LCV partners, added a Dirty Dozen in the state.
Dirty Dozen says to voters that somebody is out of step and that it is, frankly, almost distasteful. Our opponent, who we put on the Dirty Dozen list, what it means is that there's additional resources, there's additional attention to highlight the fact that he is such a foe when it comes to environmental issues.
Every elected official wants to act like they're for clean air and clean water. Our job is to let the voters know who's really for clean air and who's just greenwashing. We do that through TV ads, radio ads, and that's where we're heavily invested.
In 2014, our program has been about going deep into states, figuring out districts where we can make a larger investment, picking a few of them with the hope that that will tip the balance of that legislature.
North Carolina League of Conservation Voters has made the environment a campaign issue, and it wouldn't have been a campaign issue otherwise. We ran ads on coal ash. After that, the pro-conservation challengers, our friends, started talking about the message, and moreover, it made the incumbents respond. Our work this year has put the environment into the conversation.
You all are making history. History. Every door you knock on, remember, we had a president for 8 years because we didn't get 538 votes to beat Bush in Florida. This is a close race, there's no doubt about it. Thank you very, very, very much. Let's go.
We're here in your neighborhood today to talk about the upcoming elections, and we were wondering if we had your support.
I just don't know that much about the candidates.
But we can tell you why we're supporting Gary Peters.
Going out and meeting people at their homes, on their doorsteps, there's nothing more important than that. This is the most robust field operation that the Michigan League of Conservation Voters has ever run in the state of Michigan. We will have met over 150,000 voters at their doorsteps.
We also have to protect the Great Lakes and make sure that people understand that climate change is a real issue that we have to deal with.
Gary Peters' win for the U.S. Senate race means a whole lot.
Michigan League of Conservation Voters. Yeah, you guys were great. The league was really making a big difference.
LCV is powerful for a number of reasons. And over the last half a dozen years, we've actually built our membership from 100,000 members to over 1 million. And those folks not just support our efforts with resources, but they get engaged and active. Because members of Congress know that if they're hearing from constituents back home, that makes a critical difference. And that's how we're going to win.